Here with us. This hour, we're going to be talking to Tara O'Neill about her online business, The Sunshine Company, a self-published book of poetry and art reverie last year while she was a Leaving Cert student. So quite impressive there. And looking forward to chatting with her. We'll also have a look to the positive sound of Spirit Radio. It is Saturday Magazine with Jackie, and so glad to have you guys here. You know, this last year, it was a very difficult year for many people, but I think particularly for young people in general, because of those who were studying for state exams. It was so difficult for them, all the uncertainty and all that was going on. And it's been really, really hard on people, but particularly young people. My next guest was one of those students, but she managed to get through all that and also publish a book of poetry. Online to tell us more all about it, we have Tara O'Neill. Tara, you're very welcome to the show this morning.
Hi, Jackie. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here, Tara. And first of all, before we get talking about the book and the other things that you are up to at the moment, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm 18 years old. I was born in County Meath in the town of Navan, and I've lived there my whole life. I just recently graduated secondary school, and now I'm in my first year of university, but I'm just doing a diploma. Just kind of like everybody else, trying to make the most of this time in lockdown.
Absolutely.
That's me.
Great. So you sat the Leaving Cert last year, and I believe you said you're continuing your studies in America. Is that right?
Yeah, so we got predicted grades last year, and then I was hoping I got an academic scholarship to go out to a university in Florida called Southeastern University, but because of the pandemic, I couldn't get my visa on time, so we decided to just postpone that until this August, God willing.
Yeah.
And so at the moment, I'm just doing a diploma in theology at Green Pastures Leadership College, which is a year. So hopefully next year I will start over in the States.
So great. So making good use of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing the best that's in it. It is hard. I mean, did you find it difficult? I mean, I've got a son your age, and I have to say, my heart goes out to you guys because it's really difficult, but I've seen so many positive things come out of this year for young people. Would you agree with that? Would you say that there's been really good things that have come out of it as well?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like the incredible thing about, having technology and everything is that we have so many opportunities to be able to just improve our skills, whether it's personally or be able to kind of publish things and encourage other people. And I think especially as Christians that, taking advantage of this time to spend time with the Lord and just really seek Him for who He is, because when everything else is stripped away, that is all we have left. And I think that has been something that God has really been speaking to me during this time, because we can, identify ourselves in so many, accolades and, all of these achievements we have, but when there's nothing left, we are just who we are. So I think that the Lord has really built a really firm foundation in a lot of people, not just young people, but just people across the world, to come back to who we really are. And so I think that will hopefully benefit us in the future.
Yeah. Well said. So I know creativity is a big part of your life, and you've had an online business for a couple of years now. Tell us about it, and what types of things are you making and selling?
Yeah, so I actually started my business it was only actually less than a year ago, so last May. Kind of when I was coming to the end of my Leaving Cert, was kind of basically canceled at that point. So I was like, okay, I want to focus my attention on something else. And I've always been creative. I love just, I loved art when I was younger and everything, and just different. I loved videography, and I just loved getting creative and just seeing what I could do with things and telling stories. And so when I'd been writing poetry for a while, and I knew I was kind of coming to the time where I wanted to publish a book, so I decided to start just a platform for myself to produce my artwork called The Sunshine Co. And so I started that a few months before I knew that I was going to publish my book, just to kind of have a bit of a platform, so it wasn't just like, hey, I published a book. It was kind of, there's a little bit of foundation to it. So I started posting. I made an Etsy shop and an Instagram page, and it was really just my friends following at that point, and it wasn't anything big. And I was just selling embroidery hoops and just different art prints. And then I released my book, and then now I'm selling stickers of artwork that I make, and I'm also doing custom portraits. And I also released a few different designs and cards and everything. So it's just kind of whatever comes to mind. It's not my main income or anything. It's growing. It's just such a blessing that I can spend more time on it. But I just really love producing things. And then I also have partnered with Compassion, so a percentage of my profits goes to supporting Compassion children.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
Wow. Wow, Tara. You last year you mentioned you self-published a book of poetry and art. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I've been writing poetry since I was 16, not intending to publish it or anything. Just it was just the way that I felt I could process things. I struggled with a lot of anxiety growing up, and I just felt like that was the way I could process it. So it just kind of amounted to a lot of poems, and I showed my English teachers, and they're like, okay, there's something in this, it's quite good. And I was like, if it could help anybody, just even one person, if somebody could relate to something, if it could just help somebody process something, it'd be worth for me to publish and share, even if it was a little bit more, vulnerable. So I just kind of started collecting it, and then obviously 2 years later, when I was 18 last summer, I started to kind of put things together, and I didn't want it just to be black and white text. I thought that I could do something different with it. So I decided to kind of just take pictures. I'm not a photographer or anything, just on my iPhone with the help of my little sister Ella, and just kind of went and did it, and then just bought a secondhand iPad and just kind of figured it out as I went along. It was really nothing glamorous. It was just kind of figuring things out, but I think that's when you learn the most things. So and then I self-published it. I ordered 200 copies. 6 boxes showed up. My parents were like, "What are you doing?" And
what have you been up to?
And so it's been really amazing. Even with Vox magazine, and I've been on Spirit Radio as well before, and then my local newspaper interviewed me, and so people have just been responding really well, and I didn't know if I'd sell any copies, and I've sold a lot. So
that's excellent. That is excellent. Cool. Do you have anything short from your book that you can share with us? A favorite poem? Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah. So I have this poem here called "And So It Goes," and this poem is just kind of encapsulate. A lot of my book is about kind of the transition between just finding God at a really broken place in my life a few years ago, and I was just suffering really bad with anxiety and just really toxic thinking. And this is just kind of talking about hitting rock bottom, but finding God in that, and kind of coming to the end of myself and finding God in that. So it's called "And So It Goes." Life always seems to hit the bottom right before we climb once more. But furthermore, we cannot give it all up now, for the best moments wait beyond our mere comprehension. The past is sweet, maybe even wonderful, but I beg of you to not allow what was compared to what is. Have you not learned that while we try our best to keep our minds at bay, we still listen to the rain that falls outside, wondering what it would be like to dance in it with you? So now close your eyes and inhale once more, for everything is coming, just not as you expect. The past will make its rounds in new ways, and your dull days will again spark joy. But here I leave with you a beautiful glimmer of what once was and what will be again.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
That's really beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm really impressed, Tara. I mean, I think it's so great because people of all ages, we have our creativity, and oftentimes we just keep it to ourselves and kind of shove it in a box under the bed and pull it out every now and then. But it's great that you've had the idea, the confidence, and just the ingenuity to put it out there for people. What kind of response have you been getting?
Yeah, it's been really cool. Just with everything. I think I just really wanted, when I started the Sunshine Co., I just wanted to, I purposely created a separate platform because I didn't want it to be about me. I didn't want it to be this is Tara's, company and everything. I wanted it to just be kind of something that I could inspire people with, and also just encourage people that they can do incredible things, and just even, down the road, I would love to be able to kind of do this on a larger scale and be able to incorporate children from third world countries also making art and distributing that through a platform. And I don't know what God is doing with it, but I've just got an incredible response with people being inspired to even share their own art and creativity. And if it can just encourage people either in their walk with God or just in any other way, it's worth for me to do. And I'm just having a lot of fun doing it. So I'm just really, excited for what the future holds, and also just really thankful for everything that's happened this far. Yeah,
wonderful. You mentioned your concept, and part of your concept with your business and the book is to support the work of compassion. It's a charity I'm very familiar with because I've supported it as well. Just our listeners may not be familiar with it. Why is compassion important to you?
Well, growing up, my parents, my dad is a pastor, and so the churches that we've been a part of have always supported compassion, and just from a young age. So I got to write write letters to children, correspond with children in third world countries, and it just really opened up my eyes to be more grateful for what I have. You know, as a young person, you feel like you're always just you're complaining the whole time, but just making me realize how fortunate we really are. And so that just really made a big impact on me when I was younger. And so when I started to make a little bit of income teaching piano, the first thing I did was went out and sponsored a compassion child of my own. And so I just decided when I was starting this business that I wanted it to kind of be for a greater purpose and not just to, you know, amount wealth for myself or anything, but to be able to support that work, because I just really think it's an incredible charity, and there's obviously a huge amount of other organizations doing similar things, but Compassion was just one specifically close to my heart. And so I just think it's really incredible that we get to do that. And, you know, these, you know, customers buying my products may never see the impact that this money is making to other people across the world, which I just think is such a incredible thing, that we can just be selfless and give instead of just always needing to see the results, always needing to see exactly what's going on, that we can just be a part of something bigger than ourselves. I think it's such an important thing, especially as Christians.
Absolutely. Tara, it has been so inspiring to talk with you. You really are an inspiring person. And tell us how we can get in touch with your book. How can we find your book? How can we find more information about the other things that you're doing out there?
Yeah, so on Instagram, my Instagram handle is thesunshine_co. Same on Facebook, and then I have an Etsy shop, which you can find through my social medias, or you can just search Shop The Sunshine Co. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm based. And yeah, like my book is available on Etsy as well, and then just through my social medias as well. So yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me
and chatting with us. Yeah, I wish you all the best, and keep it up.
Thank you very much.
Okay, take care. God bless.
Bye.
That's great. That's Tara O'Neill, and what a great inspiration. The Sunshine Co. And she's on Etsy as well. She's on Instagram and Facebook. Wish her all the best. What a great thing to be doing.